Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am looking at the GAOMON M10K tablet that GAOMON themselves sent me. Comes in a nice white package, and it's battery free with a 610 wide design, which is classic, matches most of the dimensions of PCs, and it can identify your current display mode intelligently. It's ultra thin. The new model tablet has a very simple appearance, and the thin design makes it look professional. High quality with 8,192 levels of pressure sensitivity, has 10 customizable keys that you can define the function of, and provides you an incredible platform to create, draw, or play games with different kinds of software. So let's go ahead and open it up. There's these little side stickers that keep the box closed, and then you flip it over and take the top off. Ooh. So we have the tablet on top right off the bat in this little cover case that you can just pull out. And this is the tablet. Very nice. Smooth drawing space, nice buttons with a little wheel and a center button as well. So we have this bag here. Let me see. And it's just a little bag. I think it's for putting your tablet in, but I'm not entirely too sure because when I spread it out over the tablet, it doesn't totally fit. Maybe it stretches. I don't know. Yes, it does stretch. Okay. So I guess when you're not using your tablet, you can just slip it in here and store it away to keep it nice and safe. So that's nice. And then you also get your battery-free pen, which comes in its own little case as well. Bloop. Extra pen nibs that also come in a cute little felt case and a little baggie that keeps all your nibs. USB cable, and it comes with one of those gloves for the hand, which if you've seen my reviews before, I don't particularly like to wear these things, but I know that some people do, so, this comes with it. And then finally, the quick start guide. And so this is everything that comes in the box. So I'm going to go hook this up to my computer and let's start drawing something. All right, so I've gone ahead and brought up my Paint Tool Sci, which is my art program of choice. I've already set up my tablet to my computer, and usually with tablet reviews, I like to redraw old art. So for today's tablet review, the art I'll be doing is this character. Drew this girl in 2005, and she is in absolute need of a makeover, or at least an update. So what I'm going to do is zoom out really quick and make her smaller on the canvas. And then I'm going to change my background to gray. And then I just make a new layer and select my pencil tool. And I basically just start free sketching. Not really worried about much. I'm just trying to basically just get simple shapes and form in here because I really don't like the pose that I have for the old one. But so far, the tablet is working great. Pressure sensitivity is amazing. So I'm pretty excited about the end result that I'm going to get here with this sort of a tablet. She's got like these little hair clips on her hair right here. She only has one actually, but I'm going to change it up and give her 2. Definitely going to modify this hairstyle a bit. In the old version, she has this little patch of hair here that I don't even know. It's weird. And then I've got like chopsticks coming out of it. So I'm going to axe that and just keep her hair in these 2 cute kind of pigtails that she's got going on either side. And I'm definitely trying to go for some movement as if she's walking towards the viewer or maybe like to the side a little bit, because the pose that I chose back in 2005 is just so stiff. I mean, she's like a sculpture in there, whereas I'm trying to go for more movement and flowiness that will add life to her. When it comes to hands, a lot of people always want to know how I do them, and I don't know, I basically just wing them for the most part. I'm kind of a fan of the whole when in doubt, one finger out. Which is often a trick that the artist Loish does, which was actually pointed out recently by another YouTube artist. And I thought it was hilarious because it does actually work. Granted, I gotta refine this finger because it's looking abnormal. There we go. And then lastly, facial features. And then that's basically the sketch. Not perfect, but I'm not looking for perfect since now I'm going to make a new layer and it's going to be my line art layer. And this is the one that I focus on being perfect. And at this point, I lighten the sketch layer and it's really a big old mess with the form still in there. So I'll go back to the form layer and delete it. Boom. And then I start lining. I usually do my line art with the brush tool because I have the settings set where it's just so much softer than the pencil. And so that way my lines don't come off too jagged or harsh. And one of the biggest questions that I get so often is how I get my line art so smooth. The only trick that I do kind of use is on the top bar over here of my paint tool side, there's a setting called stabilizer, and I often have it super high up, and it does sort of help with projecting your line so that the pen doesn't pick up on every little slight wave that your hand may make. So it helps. But aside from that, there really is no trick for me. And so with that said, my most common answer to that question is simply practice and a lot of layers. Because usually I just try and focus on the movement that I'm trying to get so that it's smooth. And then like, for instance, right here, that's not how the line art should be. So then I'll just erase this simple part and erase that simple part because I don't like how it looks. And then these little flicks up here, and I'll just fix this one up here. And then I just zoom in a little more and voila. That's one of the ways that I perfect certain areas. And so again, right here, the hand, all I was focusing on was the movement of this forearm. So I brought my lines down, but obviously like, where am I going to fit the hand? You know, it can't be like that. So then I just erase it a little bit, about right there. And then I keep going and I fill in the hand. And that completes the line art. I enlarged it just a bit. Just by selecting the line art layer, you can click select and then it allows you to move it about. So I just made it slightly larger. And then I basically just go to the sketch layer and I no longer need it. So I'm going to go ahead and delete it. And I'm left with just my line art. And so far my experience with this tablet has been really good, especially for its price. It's like $49.99 on Amazon as of this video. I've had no issues with pressure sensitivity, which is great. It has over 8,000 levels of pressure sensitivity, which is an astronomical amount, so definitely no issues there. And so far, I'm just really satisfied. And truthfully, it will just always amaze me the quality of tablets that are coming out these days for the price that they're at. I always mention in previous reviews when it comes to tablets that I started on a Wacom tablet, which was basically top tier when it comes to tablets back then. Like this reference image that I'm using was made on a Wacom tablet back in 2005. So if that's any indication. And when it just came to other tablets, like nothing compared back then. But since then, technology has increased and gotten better. And it just amazes me that I literally just feel like there's no difference between this GAOMON tablet that I'm using and Wacom. And basically what I'm doing here is I'm filling in my piece with the colors that I want. And I'm basically going into my line art layer and I'm taking my selection tool and filling in. This is still the selection part. So it fills in the area in blue so you can see what it is that you're selecting. So right now I'm doing the lining of the skirt, and then I'm going to make a new layer down below, call it skirt lining, and then fill it in with a yellow color. And then once I have all my flat colors done, I basically start going through each layer. So I have my hair color layer, skin color layer, and so on. And I'm going to start with the skin layer, and I'm going to start focusing on her face and adding shadow, like under her nose, under her eyes, under the lips, basically around the cheeks. And I'm generally pretty sloppy when it comes to this, because once I place down where I want the shadows to be, I go in with my watercolor brush and just start blending everything out. And then everything just starts looking much more refined when it's blended out, a lot more realistic looking. And then I'm giving her green eyes, because that's what I had in the original, so I figured I'd stick with that. And I generally start with my lightest color and then work my way around the color wheel to add in the shadows. And then some shinies on the eyes, just to really like give the eyes a lot of life to them, and maybe one on the side right here. And it's so cute. And so I definitely feel pretty satisfied with the face right now. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the rest of her body. And I'm still just using the watercolor brush, adding in these shadows on the arm and just everywhere else. And I'm purposely just doing a whole bunch of shadow on this arm back here, just to like really emphasize that it's towards the back and meant to be more far away. So now I'm focusing on the hair, and I basically just have my brush tool, and I'm going to start with my darkest color right where her hair parts, because that's where the hair is naturally most dark. And then I'll kind of drag the shading down a bit to define pieces of the hair. And I'm trying to go with the flow of how the hair is going. And then the same thing when it comes to her ponytails. And so when I have all my shading done, I want to get some natural highlights in there. So I went ahead and selected a brighter peachy red in order to get some natural highlights. Nothing too strong. And I kind of make this H kind of looking highlight. And I don't know why I like it. I just think it looks the most aesthetically pleasing. Because I used to just go like cha 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 cha, and it just didn't look good. I hated it. So since then, the H sort of highlight look in hair just looks really nice to me. And then I'm going to do another highlight about right here. And I generally sort of just move it across in a U shape like that. So I'm going to do another H kind of thing right here. And I try not to keep them too uniform because then it just looks fake. And then also on her little pigtails that she's got going on over here, it seems like my light source is coming at her kind of like this, just a bit. So if the light is coming down, then there's going to be shading underneath here. Not too much though. So like that. And then there'd probably be shading around this area. And then her waist dips in. So there probably would be shading around here. And then around her skirt area. And I think that would pretty much be it. Around her hair maybe, where it's casting a shadow. And yeah, I'm going to move on to her gloves over here. And then blend it out so that it's not too harsh of a shading as before. Oh, I also figured a quick way to fix the whole eraser issue is I went ahead and I found out that pressing this bottom button where the clicker is selects the eraser. So it's actually not that big of a deal. And I can just erase pretty easily without feeling so inconvenienced as I was before. And that's that. May add some super strong highlights. Let's see. Use the burn dodge tool. It's a little too strong. I'm generally using it because that's what I used on the previous picture to get highlights in some areas, but it's just not the same. Probably just gotta blend it out. Yeah, blending it out seems to work a lot better so that I get that extra shiny highlight without it being ridiculous. And maybe I'll add a little bit to her eyes. Not too much. And there, I'm calling it done. So yeah, overall, it's a standard tablet that I really enjoyed, and it had a pretty great price of $49.99, and it basically just has everything a digital artist would need. Only thing that slightly bugged me was the no eraser, but I pretty much quickly worked my way around that, so it wasn't that big of an issue. So if you enjoyed this video, maybe comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye!